at this point, we have a lot of vocabulary and tools for describing graphs. And now we're at the point where I think we're ready to start explaining the stories that graphs are telling. So let's start there. Graphs tell stories about variables. So for example, this graph below, it's telling a story about bees over time. And this graph is showing you that the population of bees had a sharp decline in the 1990s and then sort of steadied off in the 2000s. In this unit, you're going to be asked to explain graphs in about 2 or 3 sentences. So I want to show you an example of that. So let's explain the graph below in 2 or 3 sentences. So we have to start by looking at the features of the graph. It has a title. It's telling us the age of cars and light trucks in operation in the US. And so we're given years for the age of cars and trucks here on the y-axis. And we're given time, or the year it is, along the x-axis. This would be time. So how do we explain what's happening? Well, to me, it looks like the average age of passenger vehicles, and I'm using a vocabulary that's not part of the graph, so you don't have to describe it that way. You could say the average age of cars and trucks is slowly increasing and that could be my first sentence. The average age of passenger vehicles is slowly increasing from about 8 years to about 11 years in this time span. So I'll say that now. In the 90s, the average age was about 8 years old, and by the 2010s, it was about 11 years old. So that's 2 sentences. The second one's a little longer, so that's, I think, exactly about the amount you want to write. You might be able to do it in a little less. You're welcome to use a little bit more, but that's sort of the length of a description we're looking for graphs in this unit.